Tell me right now. I want to hear.
But me personally, I feel like when we come on your show, you try to use us as a weapon against the UFC, right?
The Roadhouse remake starring Conor McGregor and Jake Gyllenhaal has garnered a record-breaking 50 million viewers.
Roadhouse.
My name is Chris Mystic Moss, King of the Dragons, and this video is a 2-for-1 deal. Roadhouse, 50 million views. Ariel Helwani gets roasted. Now, I want to say this before we get underway. I need some help. If you guys could hit the like button, I'd appreciate it. If you guys want to support the channel, hit the super thanks down below in the comments section or join and become a member. These uploads take about 3 to 4 hours to put together, and I don't understand why, because they suck.
You suck!
But regardless, if you like the contents, help me out down below.
Thank you.
We're going to kick this thing off with Ariel Helwani, the MMA Hour. He had Joaquin Buckley on, and Joaquin Buckley, well, said some interesting things. I've noticed a change in things lately when it came to covering combat sports, mixed martial arts, the UFC, whatever. Fighters could literally break news, give breakdowns, or contact their fans on their own. They really don't need platforms like Ariel anymore, or Joe Schmo sitting on the couch, or even MMA-Holes.
Wait, what?
Don't really need us. Sometimes they use us if they want to get an extra boost with clicks and views, but at the end of the day, they could pretty much grow their brand by themselves. So when Ariel Helwani is doing these interviews and he says he's been doing this for 15 years, well, after 15 years, the world evolves. And right now we're starting to notice something that has become very interesting. Fighters seem like they're getting annoyed with the nose Ariel Helwani. Fighters are calling him out. So let's enjoy this clip. Ariel Helwani, that just happened Monday after Joaquin Buckley just defeated Vicente Luque at UFC Atlantic City. Away we go.
You be careful. What was I saying about the fighters in the UFC?
A lot of things.
What are you telling? I mean, tell me right now. I want to hear.
Well, just with a lot of fighters, man. You've been in the business for a long time. Obviously, you have the respect what you do, and you do it very well. You got a lot of I say facts, right, that you keep down about the UFC and about different fighters. But me personally, I feel like when we come on your show, you try to use us as a weapon against the UFC, right? You use your platform, but you try to set us up low key, right?
For real.
With certain questions.
Use them as a weapon against the UFC. What he's saying here is not false. In fact, Ariel Helwani has a gripe with the UFC. Ariel Helwani also has a beef with Dana White. So a lot of times when he's questioning fighters, yes, he's trying to get the clicks. He's trying to get the juicy answers from controversial questions. It's his job, and I understand. I've done that as well. But there's a way that we have to go about it these days because, like I said before, these fighters don't need to be put on the hot seat anymore. They have their own platforms. They have their Instagrams, their X accounts, their YouTube channels. They could go on any platform and say whatever they want without being put in the hot seat. And Ariel Helwani, the controversial guy that asks questions, well, he's going to get called out.
That fighters, you already know, if we have those conversations and what we try to talk about could have us get in trouble with who we work for.
Like what? Give me an example.
What do you mean, give me an example? Like what? What do you mean? You make a fighter say something that comes across as controversial and maybe anti the company that they work for. What would the boss do? Of course the boss is going to say, hey, what are you doing? Why are you saying this? Ariel's just pretending that he has no idea what Joaquin's talking about. This is why no one likes you. You're a fraud. You're a phony. You pretend you're the nice guy, yet you're a snake in the grass. Just fess up to it, bro.
You use your platform, but you try to set us up low key, right?
For real.
With certain questions that fighters, you already know, if we have those conversations and what we try to talk about could have us get in trouble with who we work for.
Like what? Give me an example.
There's a lot of things, man. You know better for myself. For
no,
yourself,
I don't, because I don't agree.
What I'm talking about.
Because Ariel Helwani is all about receipts, and he doesn't agree. He doesn't agree because it's something negative said about him. When was the last time someone said something negative about Ariel, and Ariel's like, you know what? You're right. I've never heard him suck it up and say, hey, I was wrong. And maybe he has fessed up with being a freaking weasel. He's always the victim. At the end of the day, when someone actually gives him some criticism, he turns it around and is the victim. He never leans into it or says, you know what? Maybe you're right. It's always, let me defend myself. I'm always right. You're always wrong. He turns into Helwani and uses it as a bit. Listen, bro, everyone sees through this. We saw you run behind the security guards at the Logan Paul versus Dylan Dennis fight. We all know what Helwani is. The cat's out of the bag. So just be honest. Stop with this nonsense that you're always the victim. It's getting old, and you're being a fraud. You're being fake. You're being phony. The fighters are seeing right through you. Just suck it up. Say, you know what? You're right. I've done that a couple of times. Everyone would like you so much more if you just were honest.
If we have those conversations, and what we try to talk about could have us get in trouble with who we work for.
Like what? Give me an example.
There's a lot of things, man. You know better for myself. For
no,
yourself.
I don't, because I don't agree.
What I'm talking about.
I don't agree. Honestly,
he goes, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, he's not stupid. This guy's not dumb. Joaquin is speaking facts. You know, bro. Who, me?
See, I don't agree. I mean, been doing the show since 2009. You think I'm trying to make the fighters look bad and do this show for 15 years? I've been doing this show.
No, that's not what he's saying, bro. He's not saying you're trying to make the fighters look bad. You're using the fighters so you can get back at the UFC. You're using them for clicks and views. If you were more transparent about it and were honest in why you had these fighters on, fighters would actually like you more.
I have the fighters on because I love the fighters and respect the fighters and want to give them an opportunity to tell their story and be able.
No, it's not. You have the fighters on so you can make money. You're making money off of these fighters, just like me. When I react to their fights, I am making money off the fighters. I love the sport, but I'm being honest with you guys. I am getting paid to react to fighters. I am getting paid to interview fighters. I am getting paid to cover the sport of the UFC. Bro, you're acting like you're just doing this for the love of the sport. No, motherfucker. You're doing this to feed your family.
15 years I've been doing this show. I have the fighters on because I love the fighters and respect the fighters and want to give them an opportunity to tell their story and, you know, be able to learn more. I want to learn more, and I hope that other people learn more when they hear from you guys. So I'm not trying to weaponize anything. That would be crazy, and I would be wasting my life doing that for 15 years. That would be a futile mission on my part.
You'd be wasting your life for 15 years. All right, do it for free. Don't get paid. Do it just for the love of interviewing fighters.
This is #1 bullshit.
UFC is much bigger than me.
Yeah. We all know this.
Yes.
Dude, that line was hilarious. The UFC is much bigger than me. Joaquin Buckley's like, yeah, we know this. We all know this. Dude, the best response ever.
The UFC is much bigger than me.
Yeah. We all know this.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'm happy that we're having this conversation.
Yeah.
Are you really happy? Are you really happy you're having this conversation? He's trying to call you out, and you're trying to manipulate him to think that you're a good human being. So credit to Ariel and Vox and the MMA Hour. He left it in the interview, so go watch the full thing. Enjoy it for yourself. But in the comment section down over here, let me know what you think about this interview.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So he says, I'm through, and then it gets really awkward on the rest of the interview. He sticks around. He tries to be a good person, Buckley, and answer the questions, but it's very odd. Like I said before, these fighters don't need Ariel anymore, especially when you start winning some fights. They got their own platforms. I slowed down tremendously on fighter interviews because I felt like I was bothering them. I felt like they didn't want to be there. I try to have as much fun with them as possible. I try to make it as loosey-goosey as possible. And when I interview them, I genuinely have a good time. And for the most part, I think we both have a good experience. I've had many of fighters slip back into the DMs, had a blast talking to you. But the reason why I pump the brakes is because these people are busy human beings and they have their own platforms. So if they truly want to come on and promote whatever they're trying to promote, you're welcome to come on. I'm not going to drag you on the show. I'm not going to do what Ariel Helwani does and put you out there to try to use you as a tool against the UFC or try to use you for clicks and views. Let me know in the comments section down below, what do you think about Ariel Helwani? What'd you think about Joaquin Buckley and how he handled the interview? The movie Roadhouse, starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor, hit Amazon streaming services, and the buzz has been through the roof. The video has been out 10 days now, and it has absolutely exploded. Whether critics were saying it was a complete pile of dog shit or actually pretty good, say what you will, the one thing you can't deny is that Roadhouse has broken all the Amazon records. MyBookie, promo code MMA-HOLES for 10% match on your first deposit. Conor McGregor reposted a tweet X, whatever the hell you call it. Roadhouse rocks Prime Video with record-breaking 50 million global viewers. My mother-in-law watched this movie 3 times. My sister-in-law watched it twice. My wife wanted to watch this thing multiple times. She enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It was just pure, ridiculous
fun.
Whether it got good reviews or bad reviews, you can't deny that this movie created a lot of buzz. And why? Because the notorious Conor McGregor was crowbarred into this movie. Now, I did a full review on this thing. If you want to see the review, go check it out in the video section of the MMA-Holes channel. And scroll through, hit the like on that as well. Throw us in the algorithm. Conor reposted something else over here from Chamatakar Sandhu. Definitely saying that wrong. Per a press release, Roadhouse attracted a record-breaking over 50 million worldwide viewers on Prime Video over its first 2 weekends, becoming Amazon MGM Studios' most watched product film debut ever on a worldwide basis. Exploding head. You got to admit, that's pretty impressive. I'm not surprised. The buzz was through the roof. Here's another post from Prime Video. Roadhouse has become Amazon MGM Studios' most watched product film debut ever on a worldwide basis. For as ridiculous as this movie is, you have to admit, it's what we needed. It's a dumb movie where you could just completely unplug the brain, sit back, shove popcorn in your face, and watch oiled up men with their shirts off, act like idiots, and beat each other up. Boats flying over things, cars flying off of bridges. If you need an escape from reality, Roadhouse is it. The Mac Life. The Roadhouse remake starring Conor McGregor and Jake Gyllenhaal has garnered a record-breaking 50 million viewers over its first 2 weekends, becoming Amazon MGM Studios' most watched product film debut ever on a worldwide basis. Roadhouse has become Prime Video's most watched produced film debut ever worldwide, over 50 million viewers so far. And then Conor McGregor. Congrats to Amazon Studios and MGM Studios on their Roadhouse movie becoming their most watched movie of all time. 50 million viewers over 2 weekends. That's 750 million at the box office in 10 days. Insane. Congrats. All the team. It was a pleasure. Heart. A final tweet by the notorious one. Proud hard worker. Roadhouse movie out now on Prime Video. If you're a Conor hater, is this driving you nuts? I'm just curious. Not trying to ruffle any feathers, but let me know in the comments section. Are you sick of Conor McGregor? Or are you cheering the man on for his success in his movie debut?